readers for you. I had this idea, I did a reading in the spring in honor of Clarice Lispector, and over the summer, it's taped, okay. Over the summer, I was inspired to do a reading in honor of Audre Lorde. I was in Berlin, and she spent a lot of time there. Also regarding our current political situation, I think her work is absolutely necessary and on point. And so I'm so happy that all of us can be here in lieu of autumn and resistance. And I have a little intro, and then I'm going to read a poem from Audre Lorde. Okay. For the erotic is not only a question of what we do, it is a question of how acutely and fully we can feel in the doing. Audre Lorde was a Black writer, feminist, womanist, lesbian, and civil rights activist. Her work explores our many different layers of selfhood, where we lack access to such, and how we find our way back in between layers, atop them, under them, and the social constructs that might prevent us from entering or familiarizing ourselves with such. The prompt for Into Autumn's Arms, as written in Lorde's essay and speech, uses of the erotic is, quote, the considered phrase, "it feels right to me," end quote. My understanding of this is intuition as resistance and feeling as truth. As we enter autumn, we witness seasonal death. Leaves tumble, crumble, disintegrate, clear imagery. Bodies of marginalization, violence, and terror inflicted upon them also disintegrate under the carelessness of institutional violence. I do not believe anybody deserves to die for deviating. I believe the power to change things and also do this through love and self-experience. Last spring, Emile and I began to explore the erotic, particularly its intangible forms. The structure of soul, the character of our art, why we say what we do, and how we know we mean it. Prioritizing meaning it. Self-expression is not only actualizing and comforting in self-understanding, but to arrive, to become real, especially born into a female body, feeling as truth is what I have found to be a guiding force, a beacon lighting my path to creativity, and a guidebook on how to live my life in the way that I want to. That is, to resist, to demand more, to understand how resistance is sustained, and how we dream of new realities to fight for. Quote, when I speak of the erotic then, I speak of it as an assertion of the life force of women, of that creative energy empowered, the knowledge and use of which we are now reclaiming in our language, our history, our dancing, our loving, our work, our lives, end quote. Right now, there is unnatural traffic in our souls. The erotic does not mean ease or comfort, but it does insist on truth and clarity. It demands our attention and care to be tended to. With this intention, it can propel us. Naturally, the revolution is not absolute in any measure, televised, witnessed, internal, external. There are many ways to demand justice. But those on the front lines who utilize their bodies to demand dreams and hope, I must acknowledge here. The service and dedication of reserving your body for resistance is no small feat. It is one that has allowed all of us to be here tonight, together, whole and safe. There is genocide and war in the world happening as I say this sentence. There has been genocide and war in the world for my entire life, and it is unnatural. It will not be normalized. It will not be accepted. I will not normalize it. I will not accept it. And separate from this, in moments where we may rest, how do we recalibrate and continue to inspire ourselves to resist? To Lorde, poetry may be a way to access this state of calm rebellion, self-summoning without combustion. Quote, for within structures defined by profit, by linear power, by institutional dehumanization, our feelings were not meant to survive. Kept around as unavoidable adjuncts or pleasant pastimes, feelings were meant to kneel to thought as we were meant to kneel to men, but women have survived as poets. End quote. Some bodies find personal resistance against the empire to be poetry, or find poetry to be a mode to translate the impossible into words, or as a documentation of resistance. What we can do to inspire and sustain is to tap into intuition. And as Lorde says, poetry is not a luxury, it is a vital necessity of our existence. Audre Lorde is tenderly honest, imperative, arriving, and necessary always. Lorde's erotic is sensation, feeling, perhaps everything invisible, and that inspires. When we are in our power, we are in our erotic. I'm hopeful that this evening will inspire us closer to the parts of ourselves in unrest and unease at the state of the world. I hope these words bring us closer to the power we all have to resist, become, and demand more. May we all experience light, loss, love, and safety, not alongside roads of death. I'm happy to be here with you all, celebrating the season and seeing its possibility to host true change. Through intuition and what we cannot and will not stand for, we find ourselves facing the difficult truth and simultaneously pointed in the right direction. Poetry is our guide and translator for this process. That said, please assist me in joyfully introducing Kimberly Marrero as our first reader for the evening with a poem on autumn.
Yay!